Hey everyone, before we dive in, here's something really cool. You're listening to an episode created almost entirely by AI. From the script to the voice, this is part of the AI Takeover series by Blockchain DXB, where we explore what's possible when humans hand over the mic to machines. There's little to no human involvement, and that's what makes this episode so powerful. Welcome to the future of content creation. Let's get into it. This episode is powered by Amana, the region's first and fastest-growing regulated all-in-one trading and investing app. Whether you're looking to invest in U.S. stocks like Apple or Tesla, or MENA giants like Adinoc or Salik, Amana puts the financial market at your fingertips. You also get access to gold, foreign exchange, ETFs, futures, and commodities. With over 375 assets to choose from, they've got the largest crypto selection in the region. And listen, guys, if you want to build long-term wealth without thinking about it every day and want to automate your investing, just set your monthly budget, choose your preferred categories, and let Amana do the rest. No fees, no lockups, and 100% customizable. Even better, funding your account is frictionless, and funding your account is easier than ever. You can fund your account with Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit cards, instant bank deposits, and even your crypto wallet. No friction, no hassle. And if you get stuck, Amana offers 24/6 real human customer support and personalized sales assistance. Because you're part of the Blockchain DXB community, you get an exclusive offer. Register with the code BlockchainDXB and make at least one trade to receive a $100 trading bonus credited to your account the following month. So what are you waiting for? Download the Amana app now. The link and code are in the show notes. Next up, Blockchain DXB is proud to be the official media partner for one of the biggest blockchain events of the year, the Blockchain Futurist Conference. For the first time ever, North America's leading crypto event is heading to the United States, taking place at the iconic Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. Alongside it is ETH Women, happening simultaneously. Expect multi-stage panels, NFT galleries, DeFi showcases, tech demos, metaverse experiences, and more, all under one roof. It's where the smartest minds in blockchain, crypto, and AI will converge. Get 25% off tickets by using the code DXB25. And yes, I'll be there with exclusive live coverage, behind-the-scenes interviews, and spotlight features on groundbreaking projects. Mark your calendars, November 5th and 6th, 2025. Visit futuristconference.com and use code DXB25. Link is in the show notes. Next up, Blockchain DXB has two more interesting partnership news to announce. First up, with Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. Blockchain DXB is an official media partner of Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. Future Blockchain Summit is one of the biggest and oldest blockchain summit taking place in Dubai, going back to almost a decade, 2017 to be precise. The event takes place between October 12th to 15th at Dubai Harbour. This is where blockchain meets fintech to redefine the future of finance. 250 plus world-class speakers, 1,200 plus investors, live demos, product launches, and the exclusive invite-only GITEX Digital Assets Forum, all under one roof. From Web3 pioneers to fintech leaders shaping payments, banking, insurtech, AI, and DeFi, this event brings the entire ecosystem together. Startups, this is your launchpad. Get in front of top VCs, accelerators, and industry leaders. For blockchain and fintech companies, this is where connections turn into partnerships and dreams turn into exits. Register today at futureblockchainsummit.com. Don't just watch the future unfold, own your space in it. Remember, Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. The registration link is in the show notes below, and see you at Dubai Harbour. Second partnership news kicking off from today is with the leading Bitcoin event organizers on this planet. And this year, Bitcoin Asia is taking things to another level. Bitcoin Asia are hosting a massive gathering this August in Hong Kong, and Blockchain DXB is proud to be an official media partner of Bitcoin Asia 2025. Taking place this August in Hong Kong, Bitcoin Asia is the region's premier Bitcoin gathering, where builders, investors, and innovators meet. It's really an honor for blockchain DXB to be associated with Bitcoin Asia. Now at this event, expect powerful keynotes, bold conversations, and a headlining session with none other than Eric Trump. He will be sharing his vision for Bitcoin's long-term potential, its role in global finance, and Asia's massive impact on adoption, and a lot more. So listen up, guys. From infrastructure to regulation, privacy tools to lightning development, Bitcoin Asia connects global Bitcoin communities and drives innovation across cultures and markets. And as part of this partnership, you can register for the Bitcoin Asia using the code DXB. All the detail are in the show notes below. If Bitcoin's in your blood, this is your event. So, register today at asia.btc and don't forget to use code DXB for 10% off your tickets. Bitcoin Asia 2025, Hong Kong is calling. Be part of the future of Bitcoin. Next up, Advanced Media is the largest distributor of professional video, photography, cinema, and broadcast accessories in the Middle East. They represent over 100 major brands, including DJI, Hasselblad, Red, and Rode. The mic I'm using to record this? Sponsored by Advanced Media. But what really sets them apart is their commitment to purpose. People, planet, and prosperity. That's not just branding, it's their actual business model. They've partnered with SAE Institute in Dubai to offer scholarships to students pursuing a bachelor's degree in filmmaking, each worth AED 50,000. They also run regular workshops, training programs, and tech showcases across the region. For more info, visit amt.t, that's amt.tv. Finally, let's talk about something every crypto investor should take seriously: security. And that's where Ledger comes in. Ledger is one of the most trusted names in crypto security. Their hardware wallets, like the Nano S Plus and Nano X, keep your assets safe by storing your private keys offline. That means you're protected against hacks, malware, and phishing attempts that can compromise online wallets. The company is headquartered in Paris and is constantly innovating. Their team works with world-class security researchers and regularly tests their own products for vulnerabilities. It's why Ledger wallets are used by millions around the world. Using a hardware wallet isn't just smart, it's essential. If you're serious about crypto, it's time to stop relying on centralized exchanges or browser wallets. Click the link in the show notes to order your Ledger wallet and support this podcast at the same time.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the place you come to when you want to cut through the noise and really get to the heart of what matters. Today, we're diving headfirst into quite a mix. We've got economic shifts, some pretty ambitious blockchain ideas, and what's happening with digital innovation, especially over the Middle East. Yeah, it's a lot to cover, but we're here to help you connect those dots.
Absolutely. We're digging into everything from, market updates and inflation reports to things like, Bitcoin on Mars and maybe even voting on the blockchain.
It sounds like sci-fi sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Our job is to really sift through this and figure out what's real, what's hype, and what you need to know.
exactly. We'll look at how global events and hard economic data are hitting digital assets, but also explore let's say, the technical and social hurdles for these big blockchain dreams. The sheer scope today is, it's pretty fascinating. And the potential impact, huge.
Okay, so let's jump right in with the immediate news. Today, September 11th, 2025. Big day. The Consumer Price Index, the CPI data, is coming out in the U.S., and our sources are basically saying everyone's watching this. Expect ripples, potentially big ones, for Bitcoin, other cryptos, and, the stock market too.
Right. And the CPI, it's the official inflation gauge from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the BLS. Most people know that. But digging into our sources, the interesting angle today isn't just what the number is, but the history surrounding it. Why is this release so critical right now?
And that's where it gets interesting. Our sources bring up this past allegation: data manipulation concerns involving a former BLS chair, someone reportedly fired by President Trump. So that history definitely adds a layer of scrutiny to today's numbers, doesn't it?
It really does. It puts a spotlight on how the CPI is actually calculated. People often focus on two specific areas, especially when there are trust issues. First, the weighting. How much importance does the BLS give to things like housing versus, say, entertainment? A tiny tweak there can really change the headline number.
Shelter costs, for example. That's always a big one.
Always. And second, the data collection itself. Gathering prices every month from thousands of places across the U.S.
Yeah.
It's a massive undertaking. And the consistency, the methodology, that's where questions can arise if the official numbers feel off from what people are experiencing.
Okay, so bearing that context in mind, what's the impact on digital assets today? We're seeing some geopolitical stuff, right? Israel, Qatar, some instability in Nepal, stuff that normally makes investors nervous.
Usually, yeah. But here's the twist from our sources. Crypto ETFs. Huge inflows in the last 24 hours, like $671 million total.
Wow, that much?
Yeah. Bitcoin ETFs pulled in $500 million of that, and Ethereum ETFs, $171 million. Pretty staggering.
So despite the jitters, money is flowing in.
It seems so. The overall crypto market is up about 1.40% globally in the last day, volume around $164 billion. The general feeling, the sentiment we're picking up from our analysis, is that if the CPI data shows inflation slowing down, well, that could really boost Bitcoin and the crypto market.
And where are prices right now?
Bitcoin's hovering around $114,074. That's up about 1.67%. Ethereum's at $4,434, up 2.42%. So some positive movement already, maybe anticipating good news.
Okay, fascinating stuff on the immediate economic front now. Let's shift gears. Something truly out there. Our sources are talking about Bitcoin transactions between Earth and Mars. Seriously.
Yeah, it sounds wild, but it's not just pure speculation. There are researchers, Jose Ponto and Carlos Ponte, who've actually proposed a method. They call it proof of transit timestamping, PoTT.
PoTT. Okay, how on Earth or Mars does that work?
Well, the core idea is pretty clever, actually. It uses the unavoidable time delay, the time it takes a signal to travel between the planets. That delay itself becomes like a secure timestamp. You can't fake the physics of light speed, right?
Okay, interesting. So the delay is the proof.
Basically, yeah. And they propose using things like NASA's Starlink network for the communication link, and importantly, the Lightning network.
Lightning. The layer 2 for Bitcoin, faster, cheaper transactions.
Exactly. Using Lightning could potentially get those interplanetary transfer times down to maybe 3 to 22 minutes, depending on planetary alignment. And, Blockstream did manage a space transaction way back in 2017 or 2018, so there's precedent.
And the goal here is Bitcoin as the currency for Mars.
That seems to be the vision, a neutral interplanetary currency. Our sources even suggest Elon Musk is supportive of this idea for, future Mars colonies.
Okay, but let's bring it back down to Earth, or maybe just low orbit for a second. Is this actually practical? Or is it just cool hype? Our sources definitely raise that question.
They do, and it's a fair point. Look at the challenges Bitcoin still faces for just, buying coffee here on Earth.
Right. Adoption for everyday stuff is still patchy.
Exactly. So scaling that across planets, that's a whole other level of complexity. And then there's the geopolitical angle. Think about it. If the U.S. or Russia sets up a major base on Mars, are they really going to use Bitcoin?
Probably not. They'd want their own currency, right? Maybe a digital dollar or ruble?
Precisely. They'd likely push for a currency they control, maybe a CBDC backed by their own fiat, not something decentralized like Bitcoin. That adds a whole layer of power politics to space commerce.
So Bitcoin might lose out to national interests.
It's a strong possibility. And our sources even throw in another idea. Maybe AI develops totally new payment systems for interplanetary use, things we haven't even thought of.
Making this whole Bitcoin on Mars debate kind of quaint.
Potentially, yeah. Interesting times.
Okay, so from Mars back to Earth, and a really contentious topic.
Yeah.
Using blockchain for elections. Sergey Nazarov, co-founder of Chainlink, talked about this. He mentioned putting data on-chain for transparency, something he said the Trump administration was interested in. And he even floated the idea of actual election verification on the blockchain someday.
Right. And, there are some relevant use cases, like the U.S. Department of Commerce putting PDF hashes on blockchains to check if documents are tampered with. That works.
That makes sense. Immutable record keeping.
Exactly. But applying that concept to a national election, well, our sources highlight some really fundamental problems. It's not just about the tech. It's about whether blockchain's core ideas, transparency, immutability, actually fit with how democratic elections need to work. Things like privacy, access, how our current systems are structured.
A philosophical mismatch almost.
That's a good way to put it. The promise clashes with the reality of elections.
So what are the biggest friction points that come up in the analysis?
Well, first, you always come back to the blockchain trilemma, that trade-off.
Scalability, security, decentralization. Pick two, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
How do you build a system for 160 million voters that's fast enough? Scalability. Secure against major attacks like nation-states or 51% attack?
Where someone could potentially control the network and cheat?
Right. And truly decentralized, so people trust it. Getting all three perfect, especially for something this critical, very, very hard.
Okay, so the trilemma is hurdle number one. What else?
Then there's this inherent conflict around identity, privacy, and trust. Elections need verified voters, obviously, to stop fraud, but they also need secret ballots. That's fundamental.
And blockchain is transparent.
Exactly. So you have a paradox. Either you compromise voter privacy by putting too much identifiable info on-chain, or you rely on external centralized systems for identity verification, which kind of defeats the purpose of using a decentralized blockchain in the first place.
It brings back potential single points of failure or control.
Precisely. And our sources mention all the debates around voter ID, verification methods. It's already complex without adding blockchain. Sure, there are advanced crypto ideas like zero-knowledge proofs, which could help prove identity without revealing it.
I've heard of those. Like proving it, a secret without showing the secret.
Right, but honestly, the tech is still way too complex and expensive to use for a national election today.
Makes sense. What other hurdles?
But plenty. The political and regulatory landscape is a minefield. Elections in the U.S. are run by the states, not the federal government.
So even if the White House wanted blockchain voting, states could just say no.
Absolutely. You'd face legal battles, delays. Plus, the political climate is so polarized. Our sources note Republicans are often wary of CBDCs. Democrats might like CBDCs, but are often skeptical of Bitcoin. And voters themselves might just be uncomfortable linking their identity so permanently on a blockchain, given all the privacy concerns.
And then just the practical stuff, right?
Yeah, the practical issues. Think about the user experience for crypto wallets now. It's not simple for everyone.
Definitely not.
Now imagine millions of people, including the elderly or those less tech-savvy, trying to use a blockchain voting app. The digital divide would be huge. Plus, online voting, even without blockchain, is vulnerable to malware, maybe even vote buying or coercion. And what about audits?
Good point. No paper trail.
Potentially, yeah. A purely digital system might lack that tangible backup that paper ballots provide, which is often key for recounts and public trust. And if bad data gets in somehow, blockchain's immutability means you can't easily fix it.
Wow. Okay. So the dream of transparent, secure blockchain elections faces, well, a mountain of challenges. Technical, social, political, practical.
It really does. It highlights that tension between a technology's potential and the complex reality of its application.
Okay, let's shift from those really big, maybe far-off questions to something happening right now that's reshaping finance. Traditional finance giants getting seriously into crypto. Franklin Templeton partnering with Binance. Our sources say this is a major development.
Oh, it's huge. Absolutely. Franklin Templeton is betting big on tokenization. They've talked about wanting to tokenize potentially $1.6 trillion in assets they manage. That's a massive number.
$1.6 trillion. Wow.
Yeah. And partnering with Binance gives them access to, well, the world's biggest crypto exchange, the global reach, the trading infrastructure. It's a powerful combination.
And the goal isn't just talk, right? It's about real changes.
Supposedly, yes. Things like faster settlement times for transactions, creating new ways for people to earn yield on assets, and just generally pushing blockchain adoption forward, scaling up tokenized finance.
And with players like BlackRock also making big moves, our sources seem to think this tokenization trend has legs.
Definitely. The analysis suggests this isn't just a short-term hype cycle. It could genuinely be a major theme in finance for years, maybe even the next decade or more.
Interesting. Okay, let's move geographically now to the Middle East. Our sources flag a couple of significant AI developments there.
That's right. First up, a company called Concentrix. They're expanding into Dubai, and they're rolling out new AI features for their product, ExoHero, which is part of their intelligence experience suite.
Okay, AI for customer experience. What does it do?
It's generative AI, aimed at improving customer interactions. They mention features like harmony to make speech patterns sound better and clarity to filter out background noise. Basically, better audio quality, smoother conversations.
And the results.
They're claiming some pretty impressive numbers, up to 80% less time needed for tasks, 10–20% more output, and quality and customer satisfaction boosted by 20–40%.
So real efficiency gains, a clear sign of AI driving digital transformation over there.
It seems like it. And the second piece of news is about a company called 21 Doctors. They started in Jordan, but HQ is now in Saudi Arabia. They just got pre-seed funding.
For what?
To build an AI-powered medical infrastructure. Their focus is on an Arabic-first digital healthcare platform.
Arabic-first AI healthcare. That sounds significant for the region.
Very much so. And it ties directly into Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 goals for healthcare improvement. It really shows this growing convergence of medicine and AI, especially in the Gulf, using tech to improve healthcare access and delivery.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, from today's CPI numbers hitting crypto to dreaming about Bitcoin on Mars, the very real hurdles for blockchain voting, and then seeing traditional finance embrace tokenization while AI transforms industries in places like the Middle East.
It's quite the landscape, isn't it? But what's fascinating, I think, is the thread connecting them all, whether it's economic data, interplanetary money, election systems, or AI healthcare. It all comes back to this push for efficiency, transparency, and trust in a world that's getting more digital, more connected every day.
Yeah, that's a great point. The same core drivers, just manifesting in wildly different ways.
Exactly. And each area brings its own huge opportunities, but also, as we saw, some really formidable challenges. It forces us to constantly question things.
So maybe here's something for you to think about as we wrap up. As we keep pushing these technological boundaries, faster payments across space, maybe more secure voting here on Earth, are we really ready for the deep societal changes, the political shifts that will inevitably come with them? Yeah. What do you think is the single biggest obstacle these innovations need to clear to actually work for us without, causing a whole new set of problems?
Lots to ponder there. That's it for this deep dive. We hope breaking down these sources gave you some valuable insights.
Yeah, I hope it was useful.
Until next time, keep digging deeper, keep asking questions, and keep learning.